How to vary your poker bluffing frequency. Imagine trying to keep your opponents guessing at a poker table. If you bluff too often, they might catch on. If you bluff too little, they might not respect your bets. The secret is in how you change your bluffing habits based on the game situation. Start by thinking about how much you bet. When you make a big bet, you should bluff less often. Because a large bet makes your bluff more risky, you want to be sure it's believable. If you bet half the pot, you might bluff around 1/3 of the time. But if you bet the full pot, your bluffing frequency should drop to about 1 in 5 or 1 in 6 bets. This keeps your bluffs balanced with your value bets. Next, consider the stage of the hand. On the flop, you can bluff more often because semi-bluffing with draws is common. You might use a ratio of 2 bluffs for every 1 value bet. On the turn, tighten up to about 1 bluff for every 1 value bet as draws start to either complete or miss. On the river, your bluffing should be less frequent, maybe 1 bluff for every 2 value bets, especially when you are betting big. Count your value hands and pick your bluff hands carefully. Bluff hands should have some potential, like missed draws or blockers that make it less likely your opponent has a strong hand. This way, your bluffs stay believable. Adjust your bluffing based on your opponents. Against players who fold often, you can bluff more. But against players who call a lot, focus more on value betting and bluff less. If you face unpredictable or aggressive players, it's better to call down more often than to bluff frequently. Think about the board texture too. Wet boards with many possible draws are perfect for semi-bluffs. You can bluff more often with hands that have some equity. Dry boards with fewer draws mean you should be more cautious and bluff less. Finally, don't bluff just to bluff. Each move should have a reason, like trying to fold out better hands or keeping your range balanced. Changing your bluffing frequency based on bet size, opponent tendencies, and board conditions makes your overall game harder to read and more effective. Remember, mixing up your bluffing habits keeps opponents unsure of what you might do next. It's all about being unpredictable while staying consistent with your core strategy.